Good evening, Richmond County, and welcome to your Thursday edition of Live at 5. I'm Russell Parker. Troops are searching for a vehicle and driver involved in a fatal hit and run in Scotland County early Wednesday morning. According to an email from First Sergeant Joel Williams of the Highway Patrol, 51-year-old Dorothy Ridenour was walking to work on the eastbound shoulder of 74 Business east of Laurinburg around 5:30 a.m. when she was struck from behind by a vehicle. Williams said that Ridenour, who always walked to work, was wearing a reflective vest and hat. According to Williams, her body was discovered in a ditch around 8:20 by co-workers who noticed she did not show up for work and saw her hat on the side of the road near the scene. Troopers recovered a right side mirror, which Williams said they determined came from a 2011 white Chevy Express work van. The Highway Patrol, which was assisted by the SBI, currently has no suspects. The Highway Patrol is checking with body shops in the region to see if they have serviced any vans matching the description of the suspect vehicle. Anyone with information about this incident is encouraged to call 910-582-7018. A little Raider magic and positive community energy is what the Richmond Senior High School football program hopes to spark during tonight's pep rally bonfire. For the second time in the last 3 seasons, the Raider football team and the school's administration are teaming up to host a community get-together ahead of the playoffs. Head Principal Chief Butler announced via Twitter that the bonfire will be held tonight at 5:30. The burn pile has grown larger over the week, which is located in the parking lot next to the softball field on the back end of Richmond's campus. Both Butler and head coach Brian Teal are calling for a strong showing of community support for the number 1 seeded Raiders, which will host number 8 Huff in the second round of the NCHSAA state playoffs on Friday. Teal, along with a handful of Raider players, is expected to speak to the fans at the event. Also at hand will be the Richmond Marching Band and band director Edwin Carter. The speeches, music, and the high-intensity crowd are hoped to create a stronger sense of school and community pride for Richmond's playoff run. Teal noted that the talk and attention ahead of the meeting with the Huskies give the Raiders the opportunity to involve more people in their playoff run, therefore having a more positive impact on the players. Butler explained that Raider Magic has been around a lot longer than he's been in the school system as the principal for the last 3.5 years. However, it's a tradition he's proud of and wants the football players to carry it and the bonfire's energy with them to the field on Friday. The Raiders will look to make something special happen starting at 7:30 p.m. tomorrow night against Hull. A 10-point third quarter from freshman Nyla Stroman was the difference maker in Tuesday's JV girls basketball game. The Richmond JV girls and first-year head coach Demi Watkins earned the first of 4 wins by Richmond's programs to start the season, overcoming a halftime deficit to defeat Anson 24-17. Boasting a lineup of nearly all freshmen, it was Watkins' first victory as a high school coach. A total of 6 combined points was scored in the opening 6-minute quarter as the Lady Raiders used a field goal from Sinadra Henson and a pair of free throws by Devea Robson to take a 4-2 lead into the second quarter. Anson opened the second stanza on a 5-0 but a baseline jumper from Robson in the final 10 seconds of the half pulled Richmond within 1 point, 7-6, heading into the break. Finding her groove in the third quarter was Stroman, whose 10 points were a game high. The Lady Bearcats took a 9-6 lead in the opening minute, but Stroman answered with a 3-pointer at the 3:55 mark of the third. A minute later, she splashed home another triple to give Richmond a lead it wouldn't surrender. Richmond will look to complete the regular season series sweep of Anson when it travels to Wadesboro tonight. Tip-off is set. It's already beginning right now because it's set for 4:15 p.m. The JV Raider boys team also played host to Anson to kick off their campaign this year. When sophomore point guard Micah Jackson completed a drive off the glass with 55 seconds left in the first quarter, he gave the green and gold nearly all the points they would need to earn a season opening win. Behind a 19-point performance from Jackson, Richmond would rout the Bearcats 62-16. The bucket by Jackson in the final minute of the first quarter gave him his first 2 points of the game. Joining the double-digit scoring parade for Richmond were freshman Dakota Chavis and sophomores Xavier Colazo and Luke Williams. Rounding out the scoring for the Raiders were sophomore Mecky Harrington and Travion Dumas. Colazo started the game strong in the first quarter, netting a team-high 7 points. Williams added 4 in the frame on 2 putbacks under the rim. After the first 6 minutes, the Raiders led 15-6. Richmond only allowed the Bearcats to score 1 basket in the second quarter, which came on Anson's final possession of the half. Chavis led all scorers in the second with 6 points, as the Raiders outscored Anson 17-2. The JV Raiders will return to the court tonight at Anson. Tip-off is expected to begin at 5:30 p.m. following the girls' game. When we return, we've got your Live at 5 weather report. What's the weather going to be like for Raider football and for the LRB parade? We'll let you know right after the break, so stay tuned.
Richmond Community College's Electric Utility Substation and Relay Technology program is a game changer. Established as a partnership between Richmond CC and Duke Energy in 2011, this innovative, one-of-a-kind program was created to address the nation's growing demand for technicians capable of working on the protective relaying that controls America's high-voltage power grid. While entry-level technicians in the utility industry normally require 5 years of training, Richmond CC's 2-year program was crafted specifically to cut the training time in half and fast-tracked its students toward high-skill, high-wage jobs in the industry. Graduates of the EUSRT degree program are making between $50,000 and $75,000 in their first year of employment. As lead instructor Steve Lampley said, "We have the program, we have the jobs, now we need more students." Enroll in Richmond Community College's Electric Utility Substation and Relay Technology today.
McNair Auto Sales is the place to buy your pre-owned car, truck, or van. To be the best, it takes big selection, friendly staff, and great pricing. We guarantee a no-hassle buying experience, and financing is available right on site. So come see us today. We're located at 1026 East Broad Avenue in Rockingham. And remember, with over 40 years of experience, you know McNair is the name you can trust.
Locally owned and operated, Fifth Dimension is a place you'll want to check out. Whether you need vape supplies, signs, business cards, decals, or your chakras aligned, we have you covered. Our in-house print shop has quick turnaround time and is open 7 days a week. We offer a wide range of products including natural stones, herbs, pendants, CBD, kratom, and more. Please visit us at 639 East Broad Avenue in Rockingham, North Carolina. That's 639 East Broad Avenue in Rockingham, North Carolina. At Richmond County Hospice, we strive to provide high-quality care to our patients and their families. Whether it's the incredible hospitality at the Haven House or from the comfort of your own home, you can count on Hospice to be there for you. We also offer monthly grief support groups, and our chaplain will be there to hold your hand in prayer. Through our amazing staff and our volunteers, Hospice has made difficult times easier for our community. Call the number on your screen if you feel that you or your loved one may benefit from our services. Richmond County Hospice. Peace, comfort, dignity.
Your Live at 5 weather report is brought to you by R.O. Yellow, Richmond County's new online business directory. Happy Thursday, everybody. It has been a pretty solid day again. Not really a whole lot going on. It's a little bit chilly, but it's also been pretty warm at the same time. Typical North Carolina weather, but it is looking to stay pretty warm as far as the way the evenings are going recently. 50 degrees tonight at 7 o'clock, 48 at 9. Not going to drop off a whole lot more from there on out. And if we look at tomorrow, we are seeing the lows staying around in the 50s, just as low as 51 and 50 across the Sand Hills region. All the way getting up into the 60s for the high. Let's take a look at over at Fayetteville, which will be a high of 67, low of 52. Lawrence is going to be seeing a high of 68, low of 53. Rayford is going to be seeing a low of 67, low of 50. A high of 67 and a low of 51. And then Southern Pines will be a high of 66 and a low of 50. Looking over on the eastern side of the Sand Hills, Laurinburg's going to be seeing a high of 69, low of 53. Bennettsville is going to be seeing a high of 68, low of 53 as well. Elbury is going to be a high of 66, low of 51. And of course, that's tomorrow night, Friday night. It's looking pretty good for Rockingham and Hamlet area. It'll be a high of high of 67, low of 51. So regular football is looking pretty solid tomorrow. And Wadesboro will be a high of 67 and a low of 53. And taking a look at the 7-day forecast again, Friday night looking really good for Raider football. High 67, low 51, partly cloudy skies. Saturday, however, is looking a little bit dreary. Of course, the LRB Farmers Day Parade is happening on Saturday. It could be a little bit wet out there, but it is still going to be a 70% chance in the afternoon with a 100% chance of it in the evening. So most likely these storms are going to come a little bit later in the day, probably as late as maybe 1 o'clock, but we'll keep an eye out for you as we get closer to that day. But for now, it'll be a high of 61 and a low of 50. Now Sunday, it is going to be partly cloudy skies with a high of 57 and a low of 34. Monday, we're looking at sunny skies with a high of 59 and a low of 38. And then Tuesday, it'll be a high of 62, low of 46 with partly cloudy skies. Wednesday is looking to have some rain in the forecast, 4% chance in the afternoon, but no chance whatsoever in the evening. Be a high of 65, low of 41. And then Thanksgiving on Thursday, it will be partly cloudy skies with a high of 57 and a low of 45. So as we get closer to Thanksgiving, it is looking pretty good. So you should be able to have some outdoor activities if you plan on having those out for your Thanksgiving Day, whether it's backyard football, just doing a little bit of something like that. But that is going to do it for your Live at 5 weather report and for tonight's edition of Live at 5. Of course, for the latest news, sports, and events happening in Richmond County, you can visit richmondobserver.com or you can download the free RO app for your mobile devices. For the Live at 5 crew, I'm Russell Parker. Thanks for watching and we'll see you tomorrow. Good night, Richmond County.